What up? What up? What up, world? This is your boy, Bionic.
Right. I'm sorry.
See?
Just keep going.
Let's try that again. What up, what up, what up, world? This your boy, Bionic.
And I'm Ray.
And we are back with another episode of A-440 Radio.
Did y'all miss me?
Ray is back. Yay! She was kind of under the weather last week,
still
y'all.
under the weather.
She's still under the weather.
Everything's up in my nose.
Well, she been snorting that stuff.
Sure. You mean oxygen? Trying to snort oxygen?
Yeah, and Vicks Vapor Rub.
Man, let me tell you, that Vapor
fumes
Rub hits different when you are grown and have a big chest, and that's all I have to say.
All right, yeah. So with that being said, hey, as always, y'all need to check out A-Y Lee
and Bionic
Music.com. AYLeemusic.com. Go on there, get all the music. It's hot. You ain't got to take my word for it. Go listen for yourself. Go to the streaming sites. Do a search for A.Y.Space on your Spotify, your iTunes. Whoa, not iTunes. Apple Music. Yeah, Apple Music. Amazon, Google Play, all that. You know what I'm saying? Try it before you buy it. Make sure you buy the music. It's hot, like I said. And as always, we have to shout out our sponsors.
Blackbird Media, a comprehensive digital and graphics company providing highly specialized marketing plans for their clients. They can be reached at blackbirdmedia@mail.com, bird spelled B-Y-R-D. They are also on Instagram as Blackbird Media and on Facebook as Blackbird.media.
And Back to Health Chiropractic Medical Center, serving the Triangle for over 20 years with chiropractic, functional nutrition, DOT exams. 2 locations to serve you, 6224 Fayetteville Road, Suite 106B in Durham, and 1708 Traywick Road, Suite 205 in Raleigh. 2 locations, 1 number, and that number is 919-544-8881. Make sure to book your appointment and tell them Bionic sent you.
Bionic.
Yeah, man. So,
excuse me, y'all.
Don't be infecting me with your viruses and stuff.
I think you would have already been infected if it
like
was
the government.
Contagious. Not CDC.
Don't be infecting me.
Anyways.
Speaking of infecting, what are we talking about today?
What are we talking about today?
Are we talking about Black Wall Street stuff?
We can talk about Black Wall Street stuff.
Okay.
Or try to.
What would you like to discuss about Black Wall Street stuff?
Well, okay, because we've had a few various conversations about Black Wall Street and gentrification, because a lot of our friends' family are living in areas, well, this is prominent, right?
Right, correct.
And then, of course, the history, the anniversary of the race riots in Tulsa and from 1921 that started off everything. That is the landmark case of Black Wall Street just occurred. So that's another reason why this is timely. Also this month, we are in June.
Juneteenth!
So we're talking like Juneteenth is going to be, appropriate talk right now. So there's a lot of things that incorporate the movement of Black Wall Street. We also were talking about, a lot of people have been talking about Black capitalism with the death of Nipsey Hussle. So there's been a lot.
Right. Well.
So there's a couple of different angles and ways that this could go. So we're going to have to decide on what we're going to...
I don't know which way I want to go, because the thing about it is like we kind of touched base on this in a previous show when we were talking about Trigger Warning and Killer Mike and stuff. And then we didn't want to give away a whole bunch of spoilers, but you've had plenty of time to watch it. And
well, our angle on it was, buying black.
Right. But then
Black entrepreneurship.
Right. And on the flip side of that, like it's 2 sides to every coin. And I made a Facebook post a while ago where I was like, yo, I don't want to see a Black Wall Street. I want to see us build up Martin Luther King Boulevard. And when I said that, I was essentially looking at like, why do we always have to define everything we're doing based on what the white folks are doing? So they have Wall Street, so we need a Black Wall Street. They got Facebook. We need a black Facebook, black Twitter, black. Look, man, how about we just do what we do and make it what it's going to be? So, if it's not Wall Street, make it Concrete Street. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever we decide, I know, I'm being foolish, but I'm being serious. Like, we don't have to, like, we can get our own. It doesn't have to be the black version of XYZ.
Or can we? Because if I recall, Bionic, we had a show a couple of episodes ago where we were talking about Cube's vision. I think it was episode 14. And your whole thing was you were all gung-ho about what Cube was doing.
Yep.
And it's not that I wasn't gung-ho about it. I was just saying, why can't we have our own? Why can't he just establish his own? Why does he have to take...
something or buy? Why do he have to buy?
Why does he want to buy these particular channels that were packaged? What was it, Disney?
Yeah.
That was releasing these channels, and now he wants to buy them and got all these superstars to help back him's dream team, basically, right?
Right.
So why is it... I feel like we switched positions here.
So with me, I'm a get in where you fit in type of guy. I am a survive type of guy. That doesn't mean get in where you fit in doesn't mean denying who you are. It doesn't mean you tap dancing for folks. You know what I'm saying? Having respect, you should have respect for people as a collective whole. White, black, Asian, Hispanic, whatever. You should have respect for people as a collective whole. And as a business person, you should understand, how to deal with people.
All I've heard in everything that you just said was should.
Yeah, should. And I say should because... And
should, in this day and age, doesn't.
Right. But I'm saying should because... that's the way it should be. We know the world isn't what it should be.
So why are we talking about the way the world should be? Why aren't we talking about the way the world is?
Because at the end of the day, I was about to get there. At the end of the day, you got to do what you have to do to survive. And creating from the ground up takes longer. Creating from the ground up may not always be fiscally responsible situation or a timely situation.
Do you mean plausible or do you mean responsible?
I'm saying fiscally responsible as in for me to build this up from the ground up is going to cost me $1 billion. But if I buy this right here, it's going to cost me $500,000.
Okay, but also what you're buying is all of the pre-established connotations with that thing.
Not necessarily, because at the end of the day, like, it's almost like if you buy a building that was something else, some people are going to refer to it as, oh, that's the old XYZ.
Right.
But for the most part, people are just going to take it for what it is. People nowadays have very short memories. Very short memories. And, it's going to be, okay, this is what it is now. I know what it was, but this is what it is now, especially if what it is now is popping. So basically what I'm saying is like, look, you got to do what you got to do to survive. You got to do what you got to do to build and build your brand and all this other stuff. The whole element of what Cube was doing, yes, I agreed with him going that route. The whole thing with the Killer Mike thing, I still say like, hey, consumerism ain't necessarily the answer. Like, I think we're too far under to dig ourselves out. There's other elements at play, but you can't tell certain folks certain things. Oh no, buying black is gonna da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Buying black is
fill in
not
that
gonna...
da-da-da-da-da-da for me. Buying black is gonna do what?
Buying black is gonna give us, like, the power of the black dollar is going to help build our community.
You don't think that's true?
I think it gives the illusion of building our community, but at the end of the day, like, for example, I know some people that own some land, right?
Yep.
Own the land.
Okay.
But they can't build what they want to build on it. because of government policies. The land is zoned for this. The land is zoned for residential property. So they, technically speaking, if they wanted to build a business on that land, they can't do it because the way it's zoned. That doesn't help them. Like, yes, you can make money off of residential, but that residential money ain't gonna be like that industry money. You feel what I'm saying? Like that commercial money. The commercial money's consistently consistent.
So you're still losing me. So,
Okay.
because your whole point is, we were talking about Black Wall Street. You were saying, okay, well, why does anything have to be the black version of something else?
Right.
And then you gave the example of, like streets. Why can't we just have Flood Street? Why can't it be whatever street?
Right.
And then we bought into, the equation, our other episodes. And
Right.
then you said something about black consumerism. So what exactly is let's do it in problems and solutions based, because we seem to take the first part of the show and present a problem.
Right.
And we tend to take the second part of the show and present the solution.
Well, the problem is I don't have any solutions.
But what is the problem?
The problem is that
You want people to stop.
we can't. Yes, we should. Again, there's that word, should.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we should keep the dollar in the community. Yes, we should be helping out each other. But at the end of the day, there's no guarantee that, somebody is definitely going to be out here buying the block. And if somebody does buy the block, that's not necessarily a guarantee that folk go pay their rent. You know what I mean? Like, now it's like, oh, well, he didn't look out for me because da-da-da-da. No, bro, you didn't pay your rent.
Okay,
like,
well,
at the end of and again, it's hard to classify everybody because that's not
but
a
black
full
business
spectrum
is black
case.
business. You can't
Right.
run a business off credit.
Right.
So I'm still not understanding.
Again, like I said, that's part of the issue of the entire thing to me. It's like, I get it. I get trying to build up others and push others and promote others because I'm all for that. It's a matter of there's other things at play. Like, we need to get more into politics. We need to get more into policies.
Mm-hmm. That I agree with.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna take more than just money.
But two, I also feel like the reason why this kind of reemergence of Black Wall Street is happening as well is that, just like the landmark case of the Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma, a lot of our history is being erased. And so I think what people are trying to do is have this new resurgence of information like, hey, y'all don't forget that this happened and that this plays a part in why certain systems don't work for us, were never supposed to work for us. And this is how, but what I'm not hearing is this is how we then counteract all of this to be more productive over here. That's what I'm still not hearing.
Okay, so check it out. We'll come back, you know what I'm saying? And after the commercial break, or music break, and we'll discuss that some more. You're listening to WDRB Media, the voice of the community. It's the A-440 radio show, and we'll be right back.
How do you hurt children by promoting to be an entrepreneur and a CEO and to do right by?
Looking at a principle.
For example.
Yeah, hold it.
Why
You're looking at a principle.
Why you don't want to let him talk? You mad?
You're mad, cause I'm mad. Yeah, that's amusing. You're mad, cause I'm mad. That's mad confusing. You're mad, cause I'm abusing your emotions. You thought you was cool, but you ain't know that I was posing. Now you're mad, cause I'm mad. Yeah, that's amusing. You're mad, cause I'm mad. That's mad confusing. You're mad, cause I'm abusing your emotions. You thought you was cool, but you ain't know that I was posing. Now you're mad, shots fired, but I ain't run a duck. I just don't back. Now you acting stuck. Bless houses are flying till they get cracked by the rocks you hide in your head. I'm a different type of man, but you ain't know. I mean, how could you unfollow me? And maybe you're mad.
And welcome back to WDRB Media, the voice of the community, and to those streaming live through the free TuneIn Radio app and through iHeartRadio. You are now listening to A-440 Radio with Bionic.
And Ray.
And we've been discussing this whole Black Wall Street thing. And we just left off. Oh, wait. Hold up. My bad.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Wiley. That song you heard, You're Mad.
Yes, you mad. And sometimes
mad.
AY Lee tends to be a little bit on the mad side.
So
What about
Lee,
Bionic? Is Bionic on the mad side?
AYLeemusic.com. Make sure to check it out. Buy the music, all that
There's
good
actually a
stuff.
shirt. You should get the shirt.
Yeah, there's
It's
shirts
merch.
on Zazzle. Zazzle.com
Says you mad.
/AYLeemusic.
Question mark.
And A.space LEE on all your streaming sites.
Mm-hmm.
Now, back to the show.
To the show.
We were talking about this whole Black Wall Street thing, and we left
Black
off.
consumerism
Yeah,
and capitalism.
Yeah, and we left off where you were talking about a lot of the history is being erased.
Right, because your point was why do we have to have a black version of certain things, right?
Right.
And so my point was what people seem to be forgetting, because as you did say that we have short memories, is that a lot, like literally Black history is being erased off the history book, off the history, a lot of our history, because we couldn't read for such a long time and therefore we couldn't write. A lot of our history was passed down through storytelling. Well, now we're getting to the point where all of our storytellers are passing. And they're passing without passing on these stories. So sometimes it's not just a matter of we want to have, a Black version of certain things. It's that we just want to have our version of
But
what
again,
happened.
so have our version, when we were talking about titles
Right.
in that one episode.
Which you claim you don't believe in.
Right. So don't make it Black such and such, make it such and such.
But we have to talk about Black Wall Street because that's the way it was referred to back in
And that's part of
1921 in the 20th century.
I mean, I got
so
you.
So we have to use that part.
I got you. But again, so now we talk about it. Now we talk about, okay, now let's make utopia. Let's make the Black utopia. Let's talk about that. You know what I'm saying?
What about the Black utopia?
Let's make it. There's no white utopia, there's no utopia.
We can't even nail down Black consumerism and capitalism. How are we going to talk about a Black utopia?
Well, going back to that, like I said, for me, I think it's a bigger picture. The money side is one thing, but we have to push and drive our people to do and think broader and outside the box. For example, certain cultures are always pushing their folk to be doctors.
Mm-hmm.
Doctors.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what we're really pushing our people for. You know what I'm saying? Or into. But we have issues with police brutality and stuff like that. We need Black police officers that get in and won't fall victim to the system.
Okay.
We need I know a ton of Black lawyers. So me saying we need more Black lawyers, I can't necessarily, I don't think we can never have enough, but I know a ton of Black lawyers, Black doctors. We need Black politicians. We're starting to see a rise in a lot of political things and Black folks coming to the forefront in politics. But again, I think a lot of them are getting lost in the sauce.
Because they're supposed to. And the reason why I say that is because, W.E.B. Du Bois said, a system, we can't expect a system to protect people that it was never meant to protect.
Exactly.
Politics was never supposed to protect Black Americans. If anything, politics was made strictly and directly to not advance the lives of Black folks.
Well, actually,
saying that we need more Black politicians, I get that in theory, but you even just pointed out the fact that, we know landowners black landowners who can't even do what they want to with their land because there's government sanctions and whatever on their lands.
Well,
like
the thing about it is like, I can't say that, oh, it wasn't designed to protect black folk. It wasn't designed to protect the poor, period.
It wasn't. Okay. And
no,
who,
I mean because
who is
politics,
typically poor.
Politics in America came along prior to race.
Okay.
Like that's the problem. Like you can't sit back and say, oh, they started politics when slaves got here. No, they started politics long before that, and it wasn't to protect everybody. So let's get that straight first. Now, I get it. I get what's being said. I get what's trying to be said. But let's be real about what it really, really is. Now, with that being said, yes, you're right. It's the system wasn't designed for us. That don't mean we can't kick the door in and change the system.
Yes, it does.
The
NBA
NBA wasn't designed for us. Now what's the NBA? The NFL wasn't designed for us. Now what's the NFL? And again, yes, none of them are perfect.
Hold on.
None of them are perfect.
Hold on.
None of them are perfect. However,
you
they are
opened up the
allowing-
box. So
I did open up the
so
box.
now you're gonna get my words.
Go for it.
The NFL?
The NFL, I said it. I said it.
The NFL has not. Oh, you know what? Nope. I'm not doing it. We don't have enough time in the show, folks.
We don't, because we only got like a
we
couple
literally
moments.
don't.
But the bottom line is like,
I don't agree with that.
I mean, you cannot agree with that. But the problem with that is, and this is what I was saying about lost in the sauce on politics. You can get in, but don't get lost in the sauce. Like Cory Booker and a lot of the stuff he's doing, I think Cory Booker's lost in the sauce.
Okay, and?
You feel what I'm saying? If you get a bunch of people in that are like, yo, I'm not, like, I don't mind standing up to boom, boom, boom. I don't mind standing for boom, 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 boom. And I'm not just talking about one person. I'm talking about the masses.
That's not how politics
Or even
works.
not even necessarily the masses. If you get a 50-50, it is how, I mean, again, it's not how it works because nobody's
the machine is using politics as just another mechanism for pushing its agenda.
But if you wind up pushing out those that are that are planted and implanted in, and you start pushing them out, like if it's a virus and you start using your red blood cells and white blood cells and I forget all my other science stuff, and start pushing that out.
And let me tell you when that doesn't work. When you're talking about someone who's already immunosuppressed.
Okay.
Black folk in our society, metaphorically, have already been immunosuppressed. So our immune systems don't work the same way necessarily.
But we're also in an era right now where there is an awakening, or there is an influx of a new vaccine called wokeism. Now, some of the wokeism is crazy.
Because wokeism,
it's crazy and overboard. Wokeism.
Not only that, but it's fake outrage.
It is.
And let's not talk about.
And I'm with you on that.
We are not getting on the whole fake outrage trend tonight. We're not doing it.
Hey, you know what though?
We're not doing it.
Oh, you know what? We're gonna do a part 2 next week, and we're gonna
talk more about this.
We're gonna talk more. We're gonna go overboard with some of this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't know if I agree to that yet.
We'll see.
We're going to have a staff board meeting offline, folks.
Yeah, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So make sure to tune in to us each and every Tuesdays
night. at 7.
At 7
p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
There you go. You got it. And as always, please remember, life is too short. Say what you mean what you say. Learn who you are. Be confident in what you want. Stop wasting folks' time. Give people a choice and move accordingly. And we's out.
Chocolate is good for me. Can I get a scoop of that chocolate ice cream? Chocolate is good for me. Can I get a scoop of that chocolate ice cream? I must express I got a vice for ingestion of a fine chocolate selection. Dark to milk chocolate, never bitter. 2 ladies and one of me, 3's company like John Ritter. I was thinking there's enough evidence to move my residence
To that place in PA called Hershey,
where I can ascend to another plane, get caught in that candy rain, or even a chocolate hurricane and let it immerse me.
chocolate is good for me. Can I get a scoop of that chocolate ice cream?
Can I get a scoop?
Chocolate is good for me. Can I get a scoop of that chocolate ice cream?
Can I take a lick? It's that sinful bliss where the line blurs
Between real life and a dream.
but every once in a while I will go
With cookies and cream.
when the smooth complex flavor hits my tongue. It's like an orgasmic reaction, and I don't have the words in my vocab to explain that type of satisfaction. That's why
Chocolate is good for me.
oh
Can I
yeah,
get a scoop of that chocolate ice cream? Can I get a scoop? Chocolate is good for me. Can I get a scoop of that chocolate ice cream?
can I take a lick?
To all my dark-skinned misses, my lifetime supplies of Hershey's Kisses. Your taste can only be compared to ambrosia in the glasses of the gods of Olympus. I go nuts over the sweet brown like Willy Wonka. I want ya. Better yet, I'll manufacture you. One won't do, so like Twix, I'll take two. I'm so thirsty for that chocolate scissor that I wizard. Hard for that candy rain. Some things never change. Blackberry molasses, I can eat that for lunch or breakfast. So this is the declaration: there's no more me. Chocolate, I are expressed as we. Feel me?
Chocolate is good for me.